Hi Rohit, just wanted to give you some feedback on your trade. This was a difficult pair to trade because on the 1 hour, the market states kept changing and it was actually quite difficult to see who was in control at that point in time. If you look at this whole messy area, it looks more to be like a money spot from a higher time frame. But if we try to read it on the 1 hour, we can see this uptrend coming in. So the overall flow is upward, and this move down would be like a discount for the higher time frame. But on the 1 hour, the seller is in control. So we can see him making a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Seller is in control, but then he fails to make a lower low, and then he also fails to make a lower high. He makes sort of an equal low, equal high. So now we could be transitioning into more of a range. So this range comes up, the seller tries. It's debatable whether he broke the range here or if this is just a probe, but he definitely comes lower here. Okay, so our seller is back. Now he makes a lower low, pulls back, but then he failed to make his lower high here, his lower low, and then he actually makes a higher low and comes up again. So now we'd be wondering if we're turning more into like an upward channel potentially. Marking that place out. So now after this high low, it comes up, makes a slightly higher high, and then slightly higher low again. So we could be in an upward channel. But now when he pulls back again, this is very weak and he's not reaching the upper side of this channel. And then the seller starts to come in again. So is the market state changing again into more of like a squeeze from here to here? It's very difficult to actually say who's in control. But it looks at this point as if the market is squeezing. So if we wanted to trade, we'd want to get buys from the bottom, sells from the top, nothing in the middle. But we can see that there isn't really much space to work in between the landmines. So it would be a bit difficult to trade inside that. If we look at it on the 15 minutes, these buyers coming up get smacked down by the seller near the top of where our squeeze began. And now price is starting to hold at the bottom edge of all these higher lows. So there could potentially be a buy from the bottom of this area. And we'd look to take it potentially, well, this would be our first landmine, this line, upper limit of the squeeze coming down. Looking at the entry on the 3 minutes, so you said that the market was on here and then you caught the test of it. So I see this slightly differently. To me, it looks like this kind of SNR was holding the market. So the seller came down. He pulled back and he's like reacting from this SNR, trying to go down again. Pulls back, tries to go down again. He seems to break it here, which might be why he thought that the market was on. But then he comes back in like a probe. So now that makes it debatable because this area is still holding and he actually does push again. So to me, the market actually only turns on when this buyer comes in, taking out this whole area. And then once we see the buyers back, we'd want a test to come in. Traditionally, in order in these areas in order to buy. But why does the test come in so deep this time? Potentially because this is a squeeze. Both parties are fighting for this price, so spikes are very common, and it spikes down near the lower edge of the squeeze. It actually goes below where this buyer started from, so where we traditionally keep our stop losses. But because we are in a squeeze, we might be aware of that, and when the test comes down, if we catch it on the test here, we have to keep some wider stops below these areas, probably because we have to be aware of spikes. But the safer thing to do would be to wait for this seller to actually reject, so that we can see some signs that he's not going straight through, and then catch the test with our stops below, again, some of these areas. And your take profit was good at this landmine over here, which is also near the top of the squeeze. Yeah, so overall, it was a bit of a tough pair to trade, but it was really awesome that you were able to get a nice win out of this one. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Have a great weekend. Take care.